and learn how to test your beliefs. People will say, well, I believe so-and-so, and then when you ask them why, it usually comes down to, where they were educated and they've been in this professional role for a certain period of time, but they don't really know these people. They've never had any personal interaction with them to really test why do they believe that. And then of course, be objective. Give all things consideration. And probably the most important thing for me is when I come across a topic that is so far from what I thought I used to believe that it swings me so hard in another direction, I always want to seek the opposing views. So even if I feel like this is right, that one of the best ways for you to get an idea of what information is true, or maybe that we're in the middle, most of what this information is true over here, but over here, this is completely the opposite, but there's truth in this as well, and then learn how to navigate and ferret that out through finding source documentation that substantiates that. But you always have to look at opposing and counter views in order to really get that true sense of what the total picture is.
Well, and MICHEILA, we are moving into what's being called the Fourth Industrial Revolution. Many changes, many areas that we have no clue what they're going to look like. One of the things we talked about last night was this whole issue with vaccines and 5G, and and how do we manage that? So when you talk about looking into documentation, sometimes we just don't have the documentation. We've only been doing vaccines for the last 30 days, and yet there's what's the documentation that supports really what's going on, because it is a very amazing global experiment, and we are the ones being experimented on, basically, right?
Yes.
Kimberly, do you have any questions for MICHEILA that you want to dive into here?
I'm absorbing this because we are we're kind of talking philosophical. We're not trying to be too direct in certain ways until you brought up the vaccine. But when I think about my ability to tune in to my own intuition and to garner my own truth, it has to come from within. And one of the biggest, most important things that happened last year in the crumbling of what is known in politics and corporate world, there's a crumbling going on that doesn't have to be feared. However, it gave us a huge ability to garner our own mastery and to be at home more, to remove some excuses, to get into ourselves, to listen to what's authentic for us. So it really gave us a lot of ability to then incorporate, okay, if this career is not a passion for me, I'm no longer going there, what is my passion? So these are really important things. And when we take that step to follow our own passions with authenticity, we have more empowerment overall in life. And I think that's a stepping stone to building truths.
100%. I agree. I 100% agree. Letting go of things was very important, I think, in 2020. And I think people have probably let go of a number of things that they may not pick back up again, ever.
True. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. And I think through that, it gave them courage. And through that courage, they can face truth, listen to themselves more. The only way you can listen to yourself is if you get quiet. Some people don't want to be quiet. TV's always on. This is always on. You have to get quiet, be in yourself. And then, of course, you have to clean up your diet, too. So you're not being bombarded by, neurotransmitters and things like that. But, so that was one of the things that I loved about last year. And those were some of the themes that I had talked about in the beginning of the year, even before the pandemic occurred.
Yeah, when I do take in information that is hard for me to process, that may trigger some anxiety or some fear in me, which there was plenty of that last year. I have to step away and sit with it and go into nature and just be with nature, and I will eventually mull this information over and ferret out the truth in it when I'm ready. So you don't have to know everything right. We are so programmed to have every answer and everything at our, if you don't know, you look it up, right? You go online and you look it up. So people want that instant gratification of the answer right now. And that's not always how this works. You have to set with the information. We need empirical data. So I would encourage people to find a way, as Kimberly had said, and just be quiet and be still and ask for what you need to know. You don't need to know everything. You need to know what you need to help you be safe and comfortable and anything for any particular family member. You don't need to know everything. You just need to know what can I do to optimize my health, and let everything else go.
Yeah, and this is all about taking your power back authentically. The only way we can really do that is to be, like you're saying, be still, be in the present, be curious. What's needed right now? Ask yourself that question. What do I need right now? Do I need to make this decision right now? A lot of people are, in the query, do I take a vaccine now or do I take it later? And, I'm of the opinion, see where you are now, look at things, do the research, and then you'll know whether to switch the on button or the off button. That's how I look at it, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So, and I think your background has been really a contributor to that. And I just wanted to bring you on, Michela, because we are the common people. We are the ones that make our own decisions, and those decisions are powerful. We don't need to be knee-jerk reaction. I love the fact you brought up the book about fear, because we don't need to move from what, if you take the acronym, false evidence appearing real, because it seems like we've got a lot of that going on right now. And we also have things that we don't know that are going on, like the 5G and the genetic modification that occurs with the vaccine and what have you. So it's really about doing study. And I think I really want to acknowledge you for your sharing your ability of not only studying, but also following your intuition and really listening to yourself in this way.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure, and I just am thankful to be surrounded and blessed by so many people who take their health seriously and want the betterment for society and community, growing community, to be there to support each other, because that is an evident thing that we definitely need after 2020. Having your community be with you and supporting you is, to me, the biggest blessing that I think we're all walking away with. People have forged new relationships, and they have found new ways to do things in their community. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of communities popping up, wanting to be identifying their sovereignty, their freedom, and that's all inside of what we've been talking about today, is knowing that you are sovereign, knowing that you are free, knowing that you do have the ability to study, to use your intuition and make choices that really work for you, and to move on. So, Michela, I know that you're involved in a lot of different groups, and you're looking at how we can be community in this whole exploration. So we hope to hear more from you in the future and really continue to watch this movie unfold.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Patricia and Kimberly. It was certainly a pleasure to be with you guys today, and I am so excited for what this year is going to bring and the empowerment that people are going to feel by taking their power back authentically. So thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you so much for being with us, Michela. You take care. Thanks for tuning into our show on societybitesradio.com. Don't worry if you've missed a show. You can find them all on our website at SarasotaHolisticChamberofCommerce.com.